everyone for joining in for the webinar on Fiddler Everywhere. We'll be talking about the new version that has come out or is about to come out. Give you a glimpse on how it looks, what are the new features, what is the team been focusing on, where does it work, how do you get access to it, and all the great things. So, um, a few instructions before, as I said, before we get started. In case you're not able to hear me, just check your audio once. We've kind of checked that things seem to be working on our side. So yeah, just try joining back again, or make sure that you're not joining via your mobile phone. You may be joining via a uh, a web interface. I mean, through your computer. Also, if you're still not able to hear me, there will be a YouTube video which will be available. The link for that will be shared with you by the marketing team. You'd be able to access my recording, go through it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. There's a questions tab. Last few webinars, we've received a tremendous response for questions, and we have a great team here to answer your questions. So Simeon from the product team is here to answer all your questions. Make sure that you are getting the answers to whatever you need to know about the new Fiddler. We're probably not taking bug requests here, but yeah. So anything that you have with regards to your feedback about what you're seeing, um, the kind of interfaces that we're going to show you, any feedback about the features, feel free to put those in the question section as well. We're here to listen to you. A lot of what you're going to see here is based on our discussion with you, as against this coming from our side itself. There'll be a few polls. The whole idea is to get to know you better, understand what kind of audience are we getting for these webinars, and what more can we do for you, right? We want to come up with some really nice webinars for you, make sure that you are getting the most out of your experience with Fiddler and information with Fiddler. I am working from home, and there has been a terrible, terrible storm today where I stay. And from where I am, electrical outages are not uncommon. So if that happens, please beware that two things will happen. One, I will be able to join back in about 60 seconds with backup supporting me on it, or there will be someone from my team who would take over and make sure that the session is completed. But I will try my level best to make sure that I'm there for you. Also, with regards to the screens that you will see today, a lot of those screens have been designed keeping in mind your feedback, but we're taking more feedback as we speak. We have beta programs that are running today where we're taking constant feedback to make it even better. So if you don't like what you see, or if you like something that you see and you don't see it later, don't be surprised. We are here to serve you. We're here to make sure that these products are working in the best way possible for you. So we're just trying to make it better every single time. Super. So it's simple. We're going to do a demo, and then I'm going to do a feature recap. Some of this is something that has been discussed a bit in the past, but a lot of what you'll see will be completely new, and I hope you'd be able to get the most out of it, right? All right. So with that, let's move on to our demo. So this is the new Fiddler. First of all, this first screen itself, the introductory screen itself, is something you might be quite astonished to see. As you can see over here, we've brought in things like resources, so documentation, blogs, videos, webinars. So yeah, one of these webinars that I'm doing right now, if you're not able to get it, you'll be able to get it from the product directly. Or tutorials. I think one of the biggest feedbacks that we've been getting has been, I want to get started with Fiddler. I've heard so much about it, but I don't know how to do that. Or a lot of people saying, I'm using Fiddler after a long time. I just want to make sure that I'm using it the way it's supposed to. Or just the fact that it's a new interface and you want to go through it. So all of that is something that you can do through this interface. So let's actually start with this little tutorial right here. As you can see over here, what we've done is we've kept certain portions of the product exactly the same, such that for you it does not feel as though you're on a different product altogether. The product seems the same, but the look and feel is much more upgraded, right? For example, the session screen that you see right in front of you, right? All your HTTPS traffic will appear here. Click on any of the rows to inspect the request and the response details using your inspectors. Easy, right? Or the fact that where your request and response headers used to be, right? Just like in the old Fiddler, you have your request and responses here. You have the various forms in which you can actually access them and access the information from that, right? It makes it easier. Next, traffic capturing. Instead of having a little button at the bottom left corner of your screen, which is always hard to find, we've kept traffic capturing right up top. There's a little toggle button here. You can toggle in and out, in order to capture traffic or stop capturing traffic, and make sure that you have a much easy access to it. Hiding the session list. So this is something new. So we not only would you have all your sessions listed over here, you'd also be able to click on those sessions, have them open up as tabs, and make sure that everything is right in front of your eyes, as against having it in multiple windows. And you'll see a bit of it when I actually move to the next part. The share button. The share button is something which is absolutely new. The share button allows you to share your captured sessions with your team members, which means that you now don't have to download a SAS file, upload it on your email, send that email, and then your colleague downloads it and then uploads it onto their Fiddler and gets started. No, none of that stuff. You just be able to click share, put in an email ID, and the person on the other side would just with a click of a button be able to open it in Fiddler. Very easy to use, very powerful feature that we've introduced in this version of Fiddler. And as I said, all your saved sessions on the left hand side, right? You double click on them and they open up as tabs. No longer multiple windows, no longer alt tab into different types of windows that you have for Fiddler open. Everything is in one space, and you'd be able to move through quite easily, right? Super. So with that, let's click done and let's get into the product a bit more, right? As I said, there are your sessions on the left hand side. You have your sessions that are listed over here. You can simply go ahead, select a few sessions. So let me actually go ahead, select a few sessions, right click on it. My apologies. Select a few sessions, right click on it, and save those sessions, right? So let's save some selected sessions and say, okay, I want to call this my demo sessions, right? And I click on save. My demo sessions get listed on the left. I click on them, and as I mentioned, it just gets opened up as a tab on the right hand side, right? Each of the sessions that I had actually selected are now available. I can click on them, and I can do a bunch of stuff. I can comment on them. I can say, okay, I want to just have someone look at this, and click OK. So my comment is now listed against that. I can right click on it as well and mark it as well. So I can go ahead and mark it in red, or simply strike out a particular session if I don't want it to happen. If I don't want someone to see it, so I can do that. I can replay a session. I can select certain sessions. I can copy certain sessions, right? So a bunch of stuff that you can do with just a simple right click on your sessions tab. On your right hand side, you have your inspector, right? The way exactly where you were used to having it, which means that you have your headers listed out. You have the text form that you can access, the JSON form that you can access. So a bunch of stuff again, which allows you a much cleaner, neater interface for you to work with. The whole idea of this particular version of Fiddler is to enhance on your user experience, go above and beyond, and make sure that you're not having to search for information. You have your information right in front of you. Let's go back to traffic capturing. As you can see over here, we have a lot of filters that we have up top, right? You can click on a column level filter and say, okay, I only want sessions that are with progress, right? So let's go ahead and filter, and there you have it. All my company sessions are right up here. I can do the same by host, by protocol, etc. Right? The other filtering option that we provided is the header is the request and response level filters, right? So I can actually go in and I can say, okay, I want my I want to put in a certain request header, like I want to make sure that I only look at JPG files, right? So you can actually put in that particular filter here, and you'll only be able to see the JPG files that you have. Or you can simply go ahead and say, take one particular session and pick something out from it, right? Like, let me say, I want this particular host name that I want to filter out on. So I click here, click on my request header, put in my host name that I want to filter on, put it under the header, apply, and that's the only one that I see, right? So again, a bunch of stuff that you can do with filters. What we're really doing it, what we're really going to do is we're going to provide certain filters in what we're calling as the early version, which means that as you can see, there's a share button. So I can go ahead to my demo sessions. I can click on share, and I can say, aha, let me go ahead and share this with the personal me, right? So I can go ahead, put in an email ID, I can add a note, this is a demo, have a look at it, and click on share, right? Once that happens, there's an email that gets sent out, and that email would basically be my session information. As you can see, it says here shared with one person. If I go on to my personal email, which I don't want to, I have some creepy emails in there. But if I go there, you'd actually be able to see an email that says a session has been shared with you, open in Fiddler. You just click on that and a new Fiddler instance opens up, and you're able to see my recorded sessions right there. Moreover, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to enhance this even further by saying, can we give you an interface whereby your comments are like chat, right? It's almost like a Slack interface where people are putting in their comments one after another and therefore collaborating towards solving a particular problem. That's another thing that we're working on in our coming versions. Another aspect that we're looking at is having the ability to actually save these sessions on the cloud. So not just get restricted by Fiddler is my system, my session, but having the ability to save it on the cloud, have a workspace on the cloud, and therefore organize all of your work there so that your team can access your information, you can access their information, and as I said, the whole idea is to collaborate together to go to the next level. So those are some of the aspects that we're bringing in as we speak. The team's working pretty hard to get those features out to you as soon as possible, right? Perfect. So that's as far as traffic capturing and inspectors is concerned. Let me go back and take you to the second feature that we have, which is the composer feature. Right now, this is something that's been there in Fiddler for quite a while. What we've really done is we've just enhanced the interface, and we've made it much more easier. So you would be used to this kind of an interface with some of the other tools that you use from an API management perspective. Tools such as Postman, which allow you to actually make sure that your APIs are being tested properly. So just a step in that direction. There is still a lot of work that we're really doing in this space. But just to give you an example, I have this API that I captured from the internet, and it's a list of employees, if I don't know who. So let me just go ahead and copy it and paste it right there, show you how this works. So it'll be a get response that you will get. If I click on execute, my apologies, yeah, right there. So sorry, my system just seems to be running a little slow here. All right, I think we're back. My apologies. As I said, there seems to be a bit of an issue with my system. Let me make sure that you are able to hear me all right. All right, voice is lagging. My apologies, and I see that you can't hear me. I hope you're able to hear me now. If someone can just say yes on the chat, I will continue. All right, so as I mentioned to you, so the whole idea is to allow you to test out your APIs, make sure that things are working fine, and now you can actually go in and click on various types of formats that you'd be able to look at and view and do a bunch of stuff. So as I said, the whole idea is to have the composer function available to you in a much more easier manner. It was always there, but it's just that you'll now have it at a click of a button right here as a tab, as against a button which is lost. I mean, I've met so many people who are just not aware that Composer even existed, and they've been using Fiddler for eternities. Right now, let's go back into another feature, which is called the Autoresponder. So what the autoresponder really allows you to do, and I know it's quite a popular feature. What the autoresponder really allows you to do is that it allows you to mock up your servers. It allows you to mock up your backend, and therefore what you can do is you can do a lot of changes to your live site. For example, let me open up a Chrome instance right here. I think this was one of the reasons why things were kind of slow. I had a lot of tabs open in Chrome. So let me go ahead and type google.com. Now what I'm really going to do is I'm going to change this image, right? So instead of my client hitting the Google server, what I'm really going to do is I'm going to say, if a request of this form is sent to you, respond from my laptop instead. So you'll see what's going to happen. I'm going to replace the Google logo with my own company's logo, because at this position, my company, I've basically added my company's picture or the logo of my company, and I basically added to queue. I enable the autoresponder function and make sure things are working. I go back to my Chrome instance, and there you have it, right? So as you can see, what I really did was I mocked up my backend. All right, I think my screen was not sharing before this. All right, this is kind of awkward. I've never had this kind of an experience before. My apologies. Let me actually go ahead with autoresponder again. This is what I was showing you guys. We're at the autoresponder. It allows you to basically mock up your backend. So what I really did was I went to, and let me delete this for you so that we can start afresh. Let's go ahead and delete this. What I really did was I went to the google.com website, and I said, let me actually pick up the google.com image address. And whenever a request from my client goes to the google.com server, instead of that, I want it to be done from my laptop, right? So I have an image of my company logo on my laptop. I select that. And basically what I'm saying is, if there's a request match to what you see above, you would be able to now replace it with my company logo instead. I enable autoresponder. I go back to the Google image that I was showing you earlier, and I refresh. And there you have it, right? So yes, now here it is. So as you saw, I pretty much mocked up the Google server, and I said I want to make a change to a live website, and therefore I want to pick it up from my laptop, from my local system as against the server itself. A very unique feature to Fiddler, something that a lot of people use, as part of Fiddler script as well, where they define fairly complex rules and make sure that those complex rules are then responded to based on the request that's sent out. It gives you a very nice testing interface and makes sure that things are working well for you. Right now, let's go back. What all did we see? We saw the live capturing piece. We saw the fact that the inspector is right there where you want it to be. You have the request and response headers right where you want it to be. But instead of a plethora of buttons, you have a much neater interface. You have all your sessions saved on the left. If I click on a particular session, it opens up in another tab. So perfectly aligned with our promise of giving you a better user experience. We can go into any of these sessions and I can go ahead and share, which means that I can put in a particular email ID and the entire workspace that I have gets shared with that person for that particular session list. And people will be able to write comments on it, collaborate better, make sure that they're actually having the right information that they want to look for, as against, again, saving and loading those SAS files that they would in an earlier case. Right now, we saw the composer, we saw the fact that we can go to the composer, put in any kind of a request, and basically see what is the response for it, and what kind of response am I expecting, so on and so forth. So I can test out my APIs here. A really good tool for people who are into web development and are really trying to change things around. So again, gives them that interface, which is much more easier to use. That's as far as the demo is concerned. My sincere apologies. I know the experience was not that great. The voice went out a couple of times. My screen froze. As I said, work from home is not very easy. I hope I was on my office network, but unfortunately, we'll just have to contend with this for a little more time. Let's actually move into the presentation, and just talk about some of those more features that I was talking about, right? As you can see over here, we have the new version now supporting Windows, Mac, and Linux. I think this was a part that I missed out earlier. And the experience across all the three interfaces will be the same, right? So you don't have to worry about Windows having a much better version than a Mac, which was the case earlier. We built it on Electron technology, and that makes sure that the experience that you get across all platforms is pretty much the same, because the tool is pretty much the same. We've revamped the user experience, as you saw. We've created a very clean and simple design. Actions are more contextual. That means that you don't have to search for your buttons. It's right there in front of you, saving, sharing, removing, bunch of other stuff there. You can define filters by columns. These could be extremely complex filters or very simple to use filters, both at the column level as well as the request and response level. As you saw, advanced filters, which was not there earlier. So this is the example where they've actually said content type is .png, which means that you can actually narrow down on just your PNG files and work off of that. Save and organize sessions. So as you would have noticed, our focus is on collaboration, organization, and contextualization. So we're trying to focus on these three aspects as we're building out the product features. You have a multi-tab support, so you click on it, a tab opens. There is the autoresponder feature. This is actually something that the team is working on, making it even more cooler than what you saw. So we're just trying to make sure that we're constantly enhancing on that. Creating and executing requests easily through the composer function. So this is another one of those features which would make life much easier for you. Integrated request and response sessions, which is what you saw when I put in my API. We look at collaboration again. The fact that you now want to use Fiddler in a team environment as against as an individual. How does that work? You save the captured traffic, give it a name, put in your comments to say, hey, I want you to look at A, B, and C, and this is further being enhanced by having the ability to actually have conversations on the sessions themselves, so that you don't have to really worry about one comment at a time. Click on share, which I did earlier. Put in your email IDs, click on share again, and this was what I was talking about. So an email goes out with a very neat interface which says, hi, check out these sessions I captured for Fiddler, and someone can actually open it from Fiddler itself. And therefore saves the hassle of downloading and uploading all these files. Contextual, collaborative, and productive. Again, three nice, cool words that we're trying to work upon. Make sure that you're getting the most out of Fiddler through these sharing of sessions. When do you need collaboration? If you're a developer working on debugging an issue and wants to share your findings with your colleagues, perfect time for you to actually go ahead and do this. You're a malware analyst and cannot share a SAS file over email as they get quarantined, a use case that's coming more and more, and malware analysts are really loving what they're seeing with this new product. You're a consultant and want to save your work in separate customer folders with work history and session captures. Uh, great use case here. I've spoken to so many consultants in the past few days that, and everyone's like, this is really going to be a game changer for them because it helps them save their information save their customer information in a form which works really well for them. You're a QA engineer testing an application and found some issues and want to share it with the development team. Again, a great place for you to actually use collaboration. If you're interested in trying out these features before everyone else, there's a beta program that's running. We call it Fiddler Insiders program. There'll be a link that one of my colleagues would have either shared by now or is sharing right now. You can actually click on that link and you would be able to block a slot in one of our calendars, either mine or my colleagues, where we can talk about your use case, what you like about Fiddler, what you don't like about Fiddler, how can we improve it, as well as get access to this latest and greatest Fiddler, which is still not out in the open. It's still under the wraps. It's an invite only as of now. You get access to the product team. That's really cool, which means that there's a Slack channel through which you can talk to them. And you can even be a part of the roadmap process, right? It's just amazing. To top it all, you get a $25 Amazon coupon just to speak to us. So I have a couple more things to talk about, but before that, let me actually go ahead and share some polls. If there are, I think I still see quite a few people around, and we're here to take your questions too, right? So I'm launching a poll right about now. Which operating system do you use? If you could just answer that, that will really help us understand who all have been here. What kind of users do we have? I don't see people participating yet. So if you're not able to see my poll, let me know. I've launched a poll right about now. So yeah, now I see it. Guess it just needed a little push. Maybe things are slow from my side. All right, probably spend about 5 seconds more on this. We have about 65% responses. And let me close the poll. All right, actually, as expected, we have about 81% Windows users today, 16% Mac, and 3% Linux. Interestingly, I met a lot of Mac users who use a VM only to run Fiddler on Windows. So Mac users, you don't have to worry about those kind of things. Now you'll be able to actually use it right here. Let me hide the results and launch another poll. What are you most excited about from what you saw? Are you excited about the UX revamp, Mac support, Linux support, collaboration? Um, and yeah, because as I said, I mean, we're really working hard to bring this out to you guys, and your vote really matters. So would love to hear about what you liked about the demonstration today, and please ignore the glitches. So I see a lot of people like collaboration, UX revamp, Mac support. I'm loving the distribution of this. Seems Linux people are losing out. There aren't enough supporters there, but that's fine. All right, I'll pretty much close the poll right about now. Share the results with you guys. UX revamp, a great response. Collaboration, great response. Great to see. Because yeah, I mean, this is the one that we really hoping would add value to you more than just having a pretty UI, right? Mac support, Linux support, great, fantastic. Let me hide these results. There's one more. How many users are using Fiddler in your team today? And this is primarily your team. I know you probably know more people around you. If you do put in that number. I mean, if you feel that there are 50 people in your company using Fiddler today, we'd love to know that. This is just to understand the usage of Fiddler and get to know how and in what way are people really enjoying Fiddler today. So, right, it's just me always takes off, right? 10 to 50 is also a good number to look at. Surprisingly, not many more than 50 counts here, actually, very few. All right, I think we spend about 5 more seconds on this, and I'll close the poll right about now. All right, so this is what it is. It's just me, 44% less than 37, 10 to 50, 15, and more than 54. So yeah, I mean, I think the whole idea, as I said, is to get you guys more features which would work as a team. So yeah, I think it's going to be a mix of a mix of features for it's just me people, and then features for the collaboration with other teams. Super. That's all that I had from polls. If you have questions, please feel free to ask right about now. This is the perfect time. I will. Yeah. This is the link again. If you guys want to talk to us, here's the link to the chat. Simeon, if you're there, why don't you take over and see if there are questions? I can see a few, and if you want, I can actually read them out to you, if that's okay.
Abhishek, yes. Hi all. Feel free to ask your questions in the questions area, and me and Abhishek, we are ready to answer them. So there is one question everybody is curious about. Are we going to get a dark mode? And the answer is yes, it's in our backlog. So I hope that the product owners will put it in a next sprint, and we'll work on it, but it's definitely coming. Okay, other questions?
There is one that I see. Is there an API where it could be extended?
Actually, there is one, but it's still for internal usage. And why not? If we could make it open, why not? But we'll see how this will turn out. Okay.
All right. Questions. We see not a lot of questions coming in from the audience. This is somehow a quiet audience, right, Simeon, from the ones that we've dealt with in the past?
Yeah.
I think I think I kind of stumped them with a few frozen screens and a couple of voice lags. So I hope they were able to capture my summary at least. But please feel free to ask your questions. I think we've shared a lot of nice information with you today. If you want to share feedback as well, we're happy to hear your feedback. So don't worry about it. Okay, I see a few more questions coming in. This is for you. Can it be used as a standalone app?
Can it be used as a standalone app? Yes, with your user account, you can use it. I mean, it's definitely working, and not only as a collaboration tool, but as a standalone app also. Okay, can we add multiple requests in Composer? We are working on the functionality to open the sessions in the Composer, if this is what you're asking. And we are also working on the functionality to make multiple requests from the Composer as well. Okay, so without installation, I guess this is a continuation of the previous question. Can you use it as a standalone app? Now I see what you mean. Not yet. If you want it to be a portable application, we'll consider this option. If you'd like, you can book a meeting at the link we've shared in the chat, so we can discuss this further.
I think the next question is for me. What price is Pro going to be, and is it a one-time fee or a license? We're still working on it. We're taking feedback. We're taking feedback from our users to see what is it. So we're thinking about two types of pricing. We're thinking about a per user pricing, per user per month kind of a pricing, and then we're thinking about a team pricing, right, for larger numbers. But it's nothing is set in stone. We're still working on it. We first want to make sure that you see value in the features that we're providing to you, and then pricing comes secondary. I mean, that's our primary motive, which is why we're going back to the community again and again and asking them, do you like collaboration? Do you like the number of filters that we provide to you today? Do you like things like cloud storage? Because those are some of the things that are likely to add up in the enterprise version. So we just want to make sure they are valuable enough for you to actually spend some dollars on it. All right, I see another one. This one's for you, Simeon. In the Composer, I can see only one HTTP request can be executed. Is it possible to add more requests?
Currently, it's with the current version, it's not possible, but we are working on adding history in the Composer. Currently, it's on UX design status. And when we have a clear design about this feature, we will implement it, and in the future you will be able to have multiple requests in the Composer from which you'll be able to choose which one to execute. Okay, another one. I think it looks great. We'll be interested in seeing how it works on Mac and Linux. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, and you should expect the same view and behavior on Mac and Linux. Our idea is that the user experience should be the same on all three platforms.
Super. Yeah, and guys, as I mentioned, if you want to talk to us, there's a link, Calendly link in the chat. You can click on that, and we'd be happy to get onto a call and give you access to all of this cool stuff, and and give you access to cool guys like Simeon who'll be able to answer a lot of your questions while you're using the product. So feel free to just go in and set up time with us. All right. Any more questions? We probably give it a couple more minutes to see if we have questions. If not, we look forward to hearing from you. And thanks a lot for people who liked what they saw today from a demonstration perspective and liked the product. So yeah, as I said, there's a big team working really hard to make sure that we bring this out to you. I see another question. What about scripting? Will it be the same for all platforms? Mion, you want to take that?
Yes, so we're also working on this, and we're deciding on the API about the scripts, but it will definitely will be the same for all platforms. But this is part of the extensibility features which we are planning. As you know, the classic Fiddler has many add-ons which you can use with Fiddler, and we will try to keep this extensibility of Fiddler, which makes it one of the greatest HTTP web debugger tools.
All right, someone says it's a nice improvement over Fiddler for good job, guys. I think, yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see this as a huge jump to what you've seen in the past in terms of things that are available for Mac. As Simeon pointed out, is a big push towards making it available across all platforms, features available across all platforms, and add more and more numbers to it.
Yes, thanks.
Perfect. We'll probably give us about a minute more. If there are more questions, happy to take them. Else we can probably close the call. And as I said, we'd love to hear from you on a call with us. All right, we going once, going twice. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for taking the time out. I know these are tough times. There are so many conference calls that all of you would be busy with, but to take time out for this, I really appreciate you being here. And I hope the session was useful for you. And I look forward to seeing you on the platform, on the new version of the platform very soon. Take care. Have a great evening, and have a great rest of your day as well. Take care. Bye. And thanks, Simeon. Thanks for supporting me as usual.
Thank you, Abhishek. Great presentation as usual.
Thanks, man. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.